Another voice here as well. Anil Trigunayat is joining us on the broadcast here. Thank you so much for joining us here. This is extremely tragic news that is coming in. This, of course, of a student who has lost his life in the shelling, an Indian student in Kharkiv.
Yes, absolutely. It is very shocking and tragic. And what is happening now is obviously way beyond anybody's expectations. And, my condolences, Indian student. But unfortunately, the situation is a warlike situation. And in this situation, the people have to stay indoors as far as possible and the bunkers. And I think that is something all the other students must take care of it. Indian government is trying its best to every single Indian. But while the war is going on, shelling is going on, I think it is that people try to stay indoors as has been advised by the embassy. And going to meet Indian government will be working with the Russians and others exactly how we can do some kind of safe exit for our Indian nationals through that as well.
Yes, absolutely. In terms of, this reiteration has once again come in where, Indian government has said that safe passage needs to be provided for all the Indian nationals, the students who are stranded there to ensure that they get onto the flights and back home. So obviously that is something now after this incident of one life being lost, one Indian life being lost there, that is going to sort of be even more reiterated over there.
In this whole conflict that has been happening, Indian government's priority has been to bring out all citizens safely and out of the conflict zone. But since the war has started, obviously it becomes very difficult to extract people out. You have to create safe corridors and find safe timings where they can go when the curfew is not in place. And you can do so with the help of the local government or whichever country is in control of that. So I believe that the government will be doing that. And this has become increasingly important that our people are out of it as soon as possible.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, given the fact that already the evacuation plan is being intensified at this point, now obviously things have taken a different turn in that now obviously lives are, the risk is increasing day by day as these students and the others stay on in Ukraine, especially in these this critical areas where there is all of this happening. What do you think is now going to be the way forward in terms of the Indian government's plans and how we are actually going to bring back people home?
Well, I think that not only the Indian government, the international community has to put pressure. And this is always a given that the government in such a situation, it is the responsibility of the host governments or whichever is under control to create conditions both for and Ukraine to make sure that there is a civilian corridor which should be carved out and timing given and before they start fighting and everything. I mean, that is something they need to firstly try to end. It is not possible in the meantime. They should allow the civilians to leave, and India will be putting pressure now on both sides to allow its citizens to leave safely.
Yes, absolutely. And all the more importantly, Anil Trigunayat, the fact that India has gone all out to ensure or to maintain, so to speak, a neutral stand, and sort of try and maintain the relationship with Russia as well. That also would sort of play an important part in ensuring that this is given priority by the Russians.
Yes, of course. But I do not agree with the narration that this is a neutral stand. It is not neutral. It is a positive stand in favor of peace and diplomacy and dialogue. We have to look at it from this point of view, and I think that is what precisely government of India is doing. And we expect both Ukraine and Russia to actually help in getting us in south. Because the day they were in Ukraine at the invitation of the Ukrainian government because they have been promoting education in India for our students. So it is also their responsibility to see to it that Indian students come out.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Anil Trigunayat, for joining us with your perspective.